Amazon was, I have no edge with earnings, but I really did like that chart of the mega cap tech plays. You know, the two that I liked, Google and Amazon. Amazon, however, I had no idea how it would report or how it would be received, which is more important. 126.27 is that very, very strong. Again, we're in the Keltner channel. There's the 10-week. That's monthly. This is also a monthly trend line. It's been fascinatingly holding up, holding up, holding up. Well, guess what? This morning, it's 142.90. All right, so that's where I expect, wow, this is the top, 146.57. We're going to literally, we've cleared. That was a very bullish engulfing. Now we had inside week, inside week, inside week, going nowhere fast, waiting for earnings. You know, this is the weekly, this is the monthly, and there is another weekly, but I would also contend that's probably 146.5 is also monthly. It is. So best bet is we're going to digest here between 140 and 146.5. I would be very, very, very surprised if we get above 146.5 anytime soon. I think we're going to hit our head there and come back down. So would not be surprised if Apple bounces at 185 strongly, and would not be surprised if Amazon gets rejected at 146.5. But that means it's got lots of room between this 140 and 146 in time. For right now, no. I think it kind of hits this 140 area and then it comes, sorry, wrong. Hits this 140 area and comes back down to 136.5. So 139.80 is definitely monthly resistance. Above that, 146.5 is really, really strong, wicked strong. And let's see what it does digesting this big move. But I would expect 136.5 to be a very strong level of retest, right? So we've already popped above. We're looking pretty good when the market opens. Wouldn't be surprised if we come down and tag that 136.5. Amazon is clearly sentiment tell for higher. Absolutely much prefer Amazon. Yeah. So Amazon to 146, and then I really think it hits its head. I don't have, they're all the same levels, 139.80 to 146 and change. So massive candle. You know what they're chasing. And look what they absolutely stayed above, 126. Look at that. It literally tapped 126.41 before this earnings report. Lots and lots I could, go over on the Apple front, but let's just say it was priced to perfection. It had done nothing wrong. This was resistance very clearly, right? So the only way that it would be strongly bullish is if and when we can get and stay above this kind of 196 area again. That's on a weekly. Here's the daily. I had already posted in Chase. It looked like, a little head and shoulders here. Wouldn't be surprised if it comes on back down to 187, 185 area. And pre-market, we've got 185.51. So I will expect this to get defended here. I'm not expecting it to channel surf. Okay, no. We definitely need to see what's going to happen. But what typically happens, and this is important for anybody who's chasing or holding, price to perfection, and we've got a hit as it relates to the reaction to earnings. Okay, so there's the actual earnings, and then there's guidance, which is perception, and then there's the reaction to pricing of the earnings. And right now, all I had to say was this was priced to perfection, so is the market. When we get and stay above 196, it's very bullish. What typically happens is we come back down, again, working from a weekly, we come back down into this area, which is support 187.5. You can also see on the daily about 187. Maybe there's a little shimmy in this area between 185 and 187, but that's what we need to get back and stay above, because this is going to be a very large gap down, right? So anyone who is short duration puts, I would expect the 55-day, which is right here on the daily, that red, to hold. And anybody who's looking at this weekly is going to say, okay, well, that's Keltner channel and that's a 10-week and we were going to pierce it when we open up. Yes, we are. And that's very important because it does show there's distribution coming in. But usually The first time it bounces, the second time it breaks. I'll say it again. The first time it bounces, the second time it breaks. So I'm personally not expecting the market to fall apart.